be something that expands with 5 fingers, pointing in different directions. So, but for what we are gradually saying, what we are particularly talking about right now, what government has to do right now is to make sure that they rescue those girls and to also guarantee the lives of people in terms of security.
Yeah, I saw this report today on one of the national dailies. It's talking about 4 battalions being mobilized for the Sambisa forest. Yes, this is a good report in the sense that, okay, I know that they are mobilizing 4 battalions to the Sambisa forest. So as a citizen, this actually satisfies me that an action is actually taking place. I'm not asking them to put out the strategy. They are going to move in from point A and they will move to point B. From point C, they will go to point D. I just need to know that there is an activity on ground, an activity that is way beyond assuring citizens that all is well. I need to see and be able to read, truly that all is well.
Those tweets used 3,309,160 accounts made an impact of 4.3 million, meaning that 4.3 million more people have the potential to also see those tweets. Now, that is to tell you how much people are talking about the hashtag, how much people are worried about these girls, how much people are trying, hoping and believing that the little they can do via Twitter can pile pressure on the government. Now, some people are saying that there has not been any show of empathy from the government. Nobody from government circles are talking. Nobody from government circle is saying anything about any strategy. They are going mute and they are saying they'll leave it to the military to do what ought to be done professionally. But people are believing that if anyone from government will come out and say something, it will go a long way in reassuring the polity that the government really actually do care. Now, mind you, a couple of days back, some women marched to the National Assembly. We had the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Reps coming out to address them in rain, and we are saying kudos to them for showing that level of empathy.
While we are talking about this whole issue of the conspiracy theories and these possibilities, I understand the fact that politics is a very dicey game, and the opposition in any country, in any situation, or given any situation, will always want to capitalize on every situation in the country to be able to get to the desired position that they want to get to. Well, however, I still consider that in as much as we are not ruling out the possibilities of a conspiracy theory in these 234 girls that have been kidnapped, it absolutely makes no sense for government to know that the opposition is capitalizing on these insecurity challenges in the country to gain votes in 2015 and do nothing about it. If you talk about the government and the opposition, would we then say that the military is part of the opposition? Because these are the same people who have confirmed in the media that these girls have been kidnapped and these girls have been taken to a particular location where they cannot carry out military assaults.
We have army chiefs that are sitting there with their families, with their daughters, with their wives. Nobody is missing in the family, so they could relax. But those children are out there in the bush. Nobody knows what is happening for how many days now. This is totally unacceptable. We have to do more, and we demand that the government should do more. We don't want to hear about politics in this. That's rubbish.
Absolutely.
Basically, what I've got to say is still going back to the government. Because trust me, the military are doing everything they can to get those girls back. The population, the communities are doing what they can also. But I think what the people want is for the government to be actively involved in this, and that is what we are not seeing. Trust me, if this was happening in some country in the West, the Prime Minister or the President would have come in public and made a speech. We haven't heard anything from the presidency. have a situation where there's a bomb blast in Yanya, where ministry workers have died. Federal Executive Council meeting was not suspended, but someone who doesn't even work in the public sector dies in an accident, and the Federal Executive Council meeting is suspended. This is what it doesn't send any positive vibe to the people that the government cares about its people, and this is what we are agitating against. This is what we want to see a change for. We want the government to say that they feel our pain, even though relevant organs are doing what we ought to get these girls back. We just want to see a change in the attitude of the government, especially the presidency as a whole. Ruben Abati has not come on air to say anything about it. Nobody, not even a press statement anywhere.
There it is in two ways. Yes, I do believe that the people should cut the government some slacks, but I must also say that, you know, if you've been cutting slacks for the past 3 years or longer than that, then you're beginning to wonder if you have a government or a set of advisors who do not have a direction, who cannot advise correctly. And that is the thing. If you go on my Facebook page today, what I just said this morning was, I'm expecting the government, the president, to resign. And people might think, what crazy thing is this saying? I'm saying that because in 2 weeks, if something like that happens, a bomb blast in the same location, it's saying to me that you either don't have the right people to tell you what to do, or you really don't want to do something. Now, this has nothing to do with politics. It's just that you are leading a nation, and it does suggest that you don't have a game plan. I'm not attacking GEG as a person. I'm just saying whoever is the president of a place and something like that happens, it should be one of your responsibility to try and step down to show. So yes, we can cut the government some slacks. I know that Boko Haram is doing his whole thing. Maybe somebody from maybe it's not just one set of people. It's called Boko Haram. Maybe they're different people using the opportunity to cause havoc, but they hide under one name. Yes, we have all of those. But at the end of the day, for how long must we continue cutting slacks when we're not seeing decisive actions? We can say the responsibility lies with the people, not only the government. But I tell you that I cannot go and fight Boko Haram. I don't have what it takes. I cannot go and sit down with them and negotiate. I cannot do anything, even if I live in Nigeria. I'm just a victim as equal as every other person living in Nigeria. So it goes back to the government to do what they have to do, right? And do it the way they have to do it, because I can't suggest to them what they have to do. They know what to be done. So it might be a political issue, it might be a political effort. I read also on Facebook someone saying that these girls that were taken away, are they missing or they abducted, or is it a political thing? Those are questions we need to be asking. Being missing is different from being abducted, and even if it's political, you know. So at the end of the day, we can cut slacks, but we can't keep cutting slacks for so long. It is an indecisive action from the point of view of we citizens. Those of us who are far away from here, from Nigeria, we also feel the same pain that you feel. We are very angry because at some point we want to come back home to live there. But come on, imagine. Okay, I'll just tell you something. I'm married to a European. At what point am I ever going to get her to come to Nigeria and live with me if these things are happening? So it is giving us heartaches as well.